All right. So, question I've been asking myself is, would Bernie Sanders have beat Donald Trump had he run, had he won in the primaries versus Joe Biden? Um, my honest answer is I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm gonna tell you which way I lean though, and I lean softly towards Bernie Sanders would have lost. And I place almost all of that blame on the cultural left. And let me explain. So first of all, let me just start by saying I'm an absolutely huge Bernie fan. Um, that was my guy 2016. He was my guy this time as well. And I was it was really sad that he didn't make it past the primary. But the primary did open up my eyes a little bit. The way that he was beat in the primaries, I mean, and it wasn't just like he he was defeated in the Midwest, which was we all knew this is where like he needed to win. He needed to show that he was the stronger candidate in places like Michigan, Ohio, Wisconsin, and he did not show that. All right. That is one very strong reason that I don't think Bernie would have beat Trump. Is that he wasn't even able, he didn't have people in the Midwest who believed in him more than Biden. Um, Now, yeah, the South obviously was definitely nothing for Bernie. I think he would have lost places like Florida, even bigger. A lot of the South would have gone way more for Trump. Um, Now he wasn't even able to win my state, Massachusetts. Biden eked by, but he won the state of Massachusetts. I think he lost in Maine. Yeah, there was just a lot of indicators that told me that um, maybe this country is a bit more moderate than we had thought. I think um, I think Bernie Sanders supporters look at when Bernie did events, rallies, the crowds were huge. People were everywhere. The enthusiasm was real and very big for Bernie. But unfortunately, those things um, don't trump the silent majority that doesn't go to rallies, doesn't make a lot of noise or bluster. They just show up and vote. And I think that another key demographic for with Bernie that I think would have that I don't know what would have happened honestly with them because it seems like young voters showed up pretty strongly in this general election, but in the primary they didn't, and that was honestly that was young people's chance. When Bernie was running in the primary, that's when they needed to show up and show out, and they could have given a lot of elections to Bernie, but they didn't. And yeah, those reasons right there are the ones that make me think that Bernie would have lost. Now, let me tell you why I think there's some reasons I think Bernie could have won. The main one is coronavirus. I mean, let's keep it real. Biden only won because of coronavirus. I think coronavirus would have helped Bernie even more potentially. I think that a lot of his positions, including universal health care, canceling student debt, raising the minimum wage, all of his economic positions would have been strengthened by the reality of the coronavirus. I mean, think about this. Before coronavirus, can you imagine the Republicans ever agreeing to sending every American or most Americans, $1,200? Wasn't going to happen. but the pandemic changed everything. And I think that Bernie would have looked real smart for the things that he was saying in the past. All of a sudden, it's like, wow, they're kind of more real for people. So rhetorically, I think the pandemic would have just strengthened the shit out of Bernie. Another factor that isn't, in the primary, you're running against. It's a different race, right? You're running against other Democrats, and it's more of a race of like about electability. I do think that the presidential race is like it's a different stage, and I think Bernie potentially, we would have had from June, or really, I would say, let's say Bernie would have won some of those, those big Super Tuesdays. We would have had from like March all the way to a week ago to for Bernie to make his case to the American people. And Bernie is the type of person that I think the more that you really get to know him, the more that you listen to him and really feel out what he has to say and why he's saying it, the more people like him. And that also, I think, would have, I mean, Biden barely came out and said anything. I mean, the guy was actually kept hidden most of this campaign. I don't think Bernie would have been hiding. I think Bernie would have been out there speaking his mind, and he would have had a captive audience. And that factor makes me think that Bernie could have won over a lot of people, because you ultimately, what you get from Bernie is that he's a trustworthy person. Whether you agree with him or not on his policies, you get this impression that he has integrity, and he really wants what's best for people. And I really think that would have gone a long way. So I don't know, but what really, okay, so I say all of that, and it sounds almost like I should be saying that Bernie could have won, or should have won, or that I should lean toward Bernie. But you know what makes me lean a little bit away is just the disinformation and the environment of people really, I don't know, the people are in their camps, so um in the camps, in their silos, that they're not really getting out and listening to others that don't think like them. And this is happening on the left, this is happening on the right. um, the information silos are really strong, and I just think that I could see how the right wing information silos would have just pumped up so much fear around Bernie and socialism and things like that, that maybe it would have just like churned up. I don't know, honestly. And there's a question about how strongly the mainstream Democrats would have even came to his defense. There's a lot of unknown factors. We'll never really know. Um, but yeah, that's really my answer. I think that it's almost 50-50 whether Bernie would have won. I would almost say like 48% winning, and then 52% maybe he would have lost. That's kind of how I feel right now. Those are pretty good chances, but it yeah, I don't know. I think yeah, really it was I mean, think the coronavirus really is what ended Trump. Um, so curious to know what your thoughts are. But that's what I'm thinking about Bernie Sanders.